Good evening again. Welcome back to Trinity University here in Calgar Gymnasium. And we are back with women's basketball, the Intrasquad scrimmage here in the fall 2020 semester. And it's been quite a while since Tigers were able to get back out on the floor. And tonight, taking on the divided locker room. I'm Josh Butchgama. I'll be joined by Ryan Figert. We'll be taking you through the night as the Team White versus Team Black, going through their final adjustments. It's going to be assistant coach Joe Shotland guiding the white team and head coach Cameron Hill with the Team Black. Ryan, how does it feel to be back?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, a little earlier than we normally would for women's basketball. It's about the time where the season really starts to heat up and we get some early preseason action, but of course, with the schedule all up in the air due to COVID, just excited to get what we can here in terms of some real basketball action in Calgar Gymnasium.
We'll take you through the roster as we go along. Looks like everybody pretty much expected to play tonight as the two teams warming up together. Not something you would normally see, going through their typical routine and then splitting off.
Yeah, a little more friendly than the men's soccer scrimmage that we saw the other night. There was none of that, none of the pleasantries.
It was Haley Coleman for Team Black jumping against Kelly Simmons for Team White. And we're going to get an early jump ball, and they're just going to redo it.
Yeah, inexperienced refereeing crew here, Josh. We've got to keep an eye on that.
That one's going to be controlled by Simmons. That will be floated up ahead. Simmons from the free throw line, and she'll knock down the game's first shot. And I'll try to get you some stats throughout the game, but it's a training session for the statisticians as well.
Yeah, good first involvement from Maggie Robbins, the first-year guard. Gets the assist, first trip down the floor.
And Coleman fires it over into the deep corner. It'll be a three-point, no, they're going to say a two-point shot. And that'll be knocked down by Ashlyn Milton. She had some pretty incredible games as a first year, coming back her sophomore season now.
Yeah, really excited to see what she can do coming into her second year on campus. Obviously, Tigers are going to be without Abby Holland this year, and that's a big loss. She's one of those looking to step up into that role.
Rebound's going to be corralled by Emily Daniel. Jordan Rudd brings it across. And the typical starting lineup here for Team Black, a lineup that we saw quite a bit at the end of last season, with Milton, Rudd, Coleman, Daniel, and Julia Ackerman.
Yeah, it's really just Milton in for the aforementioned Abby Holland, who, of course, left such a mark on the program, leaving as the second all-time leading scorer, going on to do some excellent things post-grad as well, as the three's no good.
Shots up by Ava Limoncello, first year from Waltham, Massachusetts. Coleman's going to tip that one away.
And tonight, Tiger fans will get a look at the team without Abby Holland. Also get a look at a lot of new faces, quite a few first years getting minutes here, just even to start the game for both sides. It's exciting. As Maggie Robbins brings it up the floor here.
Limoncello with a running jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Coleman to rebound.
Yeah, it's a tough task looking at the rosters for White as they're coming up against an experienced juggernaut of a lineup to start, and not as much experience on their side.
And Julia Ackerman knocks down the three, giving Team Black the lead.
So it'll be a real big test for some of the new faces. Kelly Simmons in there as well to bring some experience alongside, I believe, 4 first-year players.
To be partially blocked by Jordan Rudd. Rebound for Team White. And that was Simmons putting it back up off the glass and in. And the lead cut to 1, and then heads up defense on the other end. That was Carly Leong, the junior from Palo Alto, California.
Yeah, definitely a matchup to watch down low. Coleman against Simmons. We saw Simmons get the better of Coleman that time down the floor.
I'll get the scoreboard updated for you. As typical with an inter-squad scrimmage, we sometimes get differences on who is considered the home team or the away team.
Robbins picking up her dribble pretty far out there, but it's well worked by White, trying to get the ball to Simmons, who's fighting for it here. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Black, and it'll be Jordan Rudd to inbound. Tigers just losing a couple of seniors, heading into a year where they're going to have a lot of experience on their roster. Jordan Rudd, now in her 4th year in the program as the point guard for Coach Hill. Ackerman as well, another one that's been around. Emily Daniel, tons of minutes on the court in the last couple of seasons. Good ball handling there from Robbins. Brings it down the floor. She's got to look for 3, passes it off. Instead, it's the attempt from Hale, no good. And it looks like the ball's going to stay with White. Line change here and 4 substitutions. Putnam into the game. Devalos as well. Pretty. I believe we're missing 1. Emily Nelson, and Simmons keeps her place in the post. Milton off to Daniel, into the lane, the runner. The side of the rim, no good. And Devalos, Nelson combined to get it out. Changes on the way for Coach Hill's lineup in Black as well. As it was a good look that time from Pretty, no good. Approaching 5 minutes left in the quarters. Josh is back to join me, getting the scoreboard sorted out for you.
And Team Black extending their lead now 10-4. 3-pointer for Ashlyn Milton. I believe by my count that's 5 for the sophomore. Nice inside move and a great block by Jordan Rudd. Her second, but it's going to be Simmons staying with it, picking up the loose ball and putting it back in. Lead cut 10-6, and right now the biggest difference, I think, is Team Black with a couple of outside shots.
Yeah, absolutely. White turning to Simmons for, I believe, 6, or for the 6 points so far.
And a nice inside step for Emily Daniel, and it's been a good showing by White, but they find themselves trailing by as many as they have. 12-6 for the starting lineup. And Simmons' cross-court pass going to be knocked down by the rim. And Coach Cameron Hill is going to take advantage of house rules and just call a quick substitution timeout. We'll get a media timeout here from Coach Hill. We'll be back with you here in just a moment. .409 left here, first quarter. The 2020 fall intra-squad scrimmage for the Trinity women's basketball team. Team Black, led by what we imagine will probably be the typical starting lineup, jumping out to an early 12-6 lead over Team White, which is comprised of mostly the underclassmen. Which Joe Schottland telling me before the game, everybody loves an underdog. They've got a chance to cut into the lead here. And a nice defensive effort for Team White and a heads-up play by Maggie Robbins as she gets her first points.
Yeah, good signs early on for Robbins, an assist and a couple of points to start.
Ball movement leads it to Milton down in the corner. She drives baseline. It's cut off. Tries to go inside. That one's going to be rattled around. And Robbins will lead the charge for Team White. She's got teammate open underneath. They'll kick it out for the open look at the three. Front rim no good. Coming back the other way will be Sam Henry.
Yeah, it was Claire Hale that got the steal and then found herself underneath. Good kick out for three. Just unlucky that one didn't fall.
Henry on to the interior. They kick it out. Far side, corner three won't fall. That was Annie Gilliott.
Yeah, and a different dynamic in this game with the referees. Not going to call a whole lot of fouls. To see more of a free-flowing contest here.
Black from underneath. Find Milton, top of the key. Try to work it onto the inside. Wise turns it over. That one's going to be taken away. That's Emily Nelson, wearing number 3. She'll take the 3. In and out. Rebound for Annie Wise.
Yeah, White just can't find their feet from the three-point line. That's a good toss in from Sam Henry, dropped in for 2 points.
Yeah, and Gilliott, and talking about not going to blow the whistle very much. Coach Cameron Hill wondering where that one's at. Should have been an and one situation. Low block. Claire Hill kicks it back out to the outside. And she'll go up, and that'll be foul call, and she'll be going to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, and I like what I see from Hale down low for White. The last couple of trips down the floor, she's found open teammates out for 3, and this time she spins her defender and gets to the rim for 2 free throws.
I talked to Coach Shotland before the game, and he said what he's looking for is just a lot of hard work and a lot of hustle out of his team. The first free throw is going to fall. And I think at this point, I mean, that's pretty much what you'd be looking at. If we were regular season, we'd probably be into about the second week of games, or maybe even just the first week here. In and out, rebound by Coleman. And those are the types of things you'd be looking at from your underclassmen. And quickly.
That's a good sign for Tiger fans. Jennifer Tierney standing in at 5'11", knocking down that 3 with some excellent form on the jumper.
A first-year forward/guard out of Orinda, California.
Looks like a very versatile player early on.
Nice drive. No call there for Davalos. And Tierney, another 3. That one's going to be short, and Davalos will rebound. Pushing up with Molly Pretty. And Pretty is going to slow it down and hits Davalos, who wasn't expecting the pass. Henry gives it up for Gilliott. And and the and one not called.
Yeah, both coaches acknowledging that should have been. And Tiger men's basketball player Ben Hanley, the referee on this near side, hearing it.
And a wide open look at it from the top of the key. Molly Pretty, first year from Port Neches, Texas, knocking it down, cutting the lead to 7 as we approach the final minute, or under the final minute of the first quarter. Tierney drives to the left, kicks back out to the right. Henry looking to feed inside. Does. Coleman. Nice drop step up to the left hand and knocks it down. You like to see that.
Yeah, you like to see that, and that's the first time we've really seen Black go down low for Coleman, and she makes good use of it.
Shot clock is off. Nelson into the corner. Davalos. 12 on the clock. She'll pull for 3. Off the rim. And it's going to stay white ball with 6 seconds to play here in the quarter.
Yeah, could really use some points here to stay within touching distance heading into the second. And they're not going to get it as they switch directions.
Switch it to Black? And a chance to extend the lead. Henry drives, kicks. Wise steps inside. Shot at the buzzer won't fall. But quite a few did for Team Black as they take a 21-12 lead after 10 minutes. And we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching the Tiger Network as we are trying to get back to normal here in the fall semester.
Welcome back for quarter number 2 of the women's basketball intra-squad scrimmage. Ryan Figert joined by Josh Moxagemba. It was 21-12 to Coach Hill's black lineup in the first quarter, and it's going to be white to start us off here. Maggie Robbins looking for some space, driving around. Kicked into the corner for Limoncello. Good ball movement here from White, and they get a look from the far side. That one's off from Carly Leong.
It's good ball movement, and you got a good wide open look at the basket. Team White doing a lot of really good things out there, just not knocking down the shots at the end.
Yeah, it looks like the same lineup that finished the quarter for both teams is out there as we get a whistle. That time for Anna Gilliott.
Playoff team a year ago. Hosted the first and second rounds.
And we were on the call for the final game against UTD. It was a disappointing defeat in which the Tigers really just couldn't find the three-pointer. That's eventually what it came down to for them.
That will knock down both. The lead 11.
Leong now center court. Simmons going to shoot on the turn, and that one rolls home. Good work from Simmons, continuing to lead her team on the score sheet. The most experienced name on the roster for White tonight.
Yeah, Simmons and Coleman splitting time down on the low block last year, and especially towards the end of the season, it was Simmons more often than not. Coleman had quite a few really strong games at certain times. So you feel very comfortable about your two options down low if you're the coaching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting that they split between the two teams tonight, whereas Sam Henry and Jordan Rudd, the usual 1 and 2 point guards, are both on black. So I think that's just a fine nature of the roster construction, but
it gives us a good opportunity to see a little bit more out of Robbins, the first year from Plano. And so far, early indications in the first 10 minutes, she played a very strong early quarter.
And she'll get the assist on that one as well as Limoncello knocks it down. Second or third assist for Robbins. Henry looked to pull up there. Instead, it's kicked around for Black into the low post for Coleman. Looked to spin and finish, but it comes off the side of the rim. Robbins will bring it down the floor once again. Limoncello into Simmons. Simmons for Putnam. Shot won't go, neither will the putback. And Gilliott brings it down. Sam Henry now down the right side of the court for Black.
Line change coming for Team Black when we get a timeout on the court.
Driving kick from Henry eventually finds Tierney. Her shot in and out. And Coleman grabs the rebound and puts it back for 2. Lead now at 8 for Black.
Another good-looking three-point attempt there from Tierney.
Yeah, and her first shot earlier in the game looked so pure. Nothing but net. Missed a couple since then. Good kick that time for Simmons. Straightaway 3, no good. But an offensive rebound from Limoncello, who's having a good couple of minutes here. Three-pointer that time from Robbins, no good. If White can just find their feet from 3, you think they'd be right back in this game.
Yeah, a couple of good looks. The offense seems to be working. In an inter-squad scrimmage, I don't know if you're, for the coaching staff, if that bodes well for your offense or if you've got some work to do defensively. Putnam misses from the corner. I believe that was just a 2.
Yeah, it's not an unfamiliar issue for Trinity women's basketball. Followers of the team will know at times the team does go cold from 3 for periods of the season.
Henry with the floater. And she's going to grab her own rebound after it was batted around.
But regardless of that, I think the team's never going to not generate looks, and that's what we're already seeing from some of the younger players on the White roster tonight. Ahead now to Leong on the right wing. Back to Robbins. Limoncello, the pump fake and cross-court pass over to Putnam. Simmons, baseline.
6 on the shot clock.
Leong gonna have to get the shot away, and that one comes off the right side of the rim. And they're gonna go ahead and go with another substitution timeout for Coach Hill. Looks like we'll make it a full timeout.
And we'll take that break with them. 5:48 left to play here in the second quarter. And we'll be back in just a bit.
Changes for both sides as we come back out with 5:48 remaining in the second quarter. Black up 25-17. It's been a pretty evenly contested game. Just some better shooting from Coach Hill's team has led to the 8-point lead so far.
Yeah, for Black, it's going to be Rudd, Ackerman, Milton, and Daniel checking back in. They'll join Coleman, who stays in. And for White, looks like it's going to be Nelson, Simmons, Robbins, Limoncello, and down underneath the basket is going to be Claire Hale.
Yeah, Hale, one that had some good work in the first, really kicking it out for 3, finding some good looks for her teammates. We'll see if that can continue in the second as Rudd's 3-pointers off. Offensive rebound from Coleman. She's fouled. She'll be heading to the line for 2. Just the 3rd time that the whistle's gone for a foul here. 15 minutes into this one.
Coleman makes it a 3-point play, and the lead 11.
My defense that time shielded off by the ref. Didn't even know that the basket went down. Simmons now baseline. Stops and pops. No good. And we brought back down the floor by Jordan Rudd. We heard Coach Hill just a second ago. He wants Rudd running the plays for Black. And that time she found an open Ackerman whose three was no good.
Talked about Tyranny's pure shooting of three-pointers. And you've mentioned past couple of years, Ackerman's three-pointer. Just her shot is about as pure of a shot as you're going to find anywhere. She can get real streaky and knock down everything from any distance. She can get streaky and miss quite a few.
Yeah, absolutely. But no matter what, she's really an elite player in terms of assist to turnover ratio. She was top 5 in the nation last season in that stat. And a lot of those assists are highlight reel plays. She finds cross-court passes or quarterback-like overhand throws down the court. Even when she's not knocking down threes, she's adding a lot to the roster, and that's why she's been in the starting lineup for, I think, 3 seasons running now for Coach Hill.
Hale and Limoncello will depart. And back in will be Davalos and Pretty. Milton trying to attack the lane right off the inbound. And that'll get cut off by Simmons. Team Black's going to work it around. Milton, pull up 3. It's going to be short. Robbins pushing out for Pretty, and White will reset. 3:45 left here in the half.
Yeah, Coach Hill won't mind getting good looks for Ashlyn Milton. That time comes up short, but we saw what she can do. She led scoring in her first ever game for Trinity last year. Remember, all the way back about this time, 2019. Really announced herself on the scene as the shot clock runs down, and Simmons just going to hoist it up. Not a bad effort.
Not a bad effort to beat the shot clock.
And
Coach Shotland's going to take a 30-second timeout. Regroup with his squad down 11.
yeah, it continues to be the same issue, though. They're finding the looks. That time, the offense not working as well and forced to put up a late shot clock attempt. But you have to say, for a group of unexperienced players at the collegiate level, with the exception of Kelly Simmons, not a bad showing so far. We've seen teams, even from within the conference, come and not be this close at the end of the second quarter in regular season play.
Speaking of regular season play, the Tigers hoping to have a regular season. Everything goes well. They would do a conference-only schedule, hopefully starting around mid-January with potential home games set for here on campus towards the end of January. I think everything TBD as of now, but if schedule holds and the pandemic conditions either stay the same or lessen, looks like we could have a conference-only, SCAC-only schedule here in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah, and it seems like that's what most, if not all, sports are going to be turning to as we go into the spring semester. Now even the fall sports moving down into the spring. So it'll be a congested schedule for us, but maybe not as congested for each individual sport.
Team Black with a fantastic movement of the ball to get the open look for Milton. Comes up short on her jumper. But those are the types of plays that you've really got to start making when you start looking at maybe how the season finished last year, finding yourself to get yourself wide open looks, little 10-foot jumpers, very similar to that with Coleman. Those shots will fall as the season goes on, but being able to execute those plays to perfection is a good sign early on.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like in some ways the Tiger ladies haven't lost a step. The shooting not quite at midseason form yet, but it's to be expected early on. But the execution looking good already.
Rudd to the right side. Kick out. It's Milton. Corner 3. Knocks it down. 31-17. 2 minutes and change to play here in the half.
And with Ashlyn Milton, we're talking about a player who, as a first year, made the All-SCAC honorable mention team, someone who has a lot of potential for Coach Hill from an outside shooting perspective, from a distributing perspective. Saw her get involved defensively last year as well. Good hustle play that time down the other end by Davalos to keep it in play.
Excellent job by Team White getting back after the missed three. Had some really good looks at three, just not knocking them down. I think otherwise it's been a more tightly contested game than what the scoreboard shows. As you see, another missed three off the back iron.
Yeah, that was Davalos. She made one earlier. I think that's the only make so far for Team White. And that time, Ackerman over Davalos' head. And we're going to have another quick timeout. We'll take it with them as White team looks to regroup now, suddenly finding themselves trailing by 16 in the second.
.125 left here in the second quarter. And it'll be Team White who called the timeout. They will have possession after the made basket, making it 33-17.
Yeah, needing points here. We'll see what they can come up with out of the timeout. Facing the full court press here from Team Black.
Nice cut underneath, and Nelson will get the roll.
Yeah, that was a great find. I think Davalos dropped that one in for Nelson. Perfect pass over the shoulder. And over the other shoulder, she laid it up and in.
Ackerman top of the key. She'll step to the right. Opens up a lane for Milton. She takes it back to the left. Now she'll drive baseline. Nice cut across, and what an assist off to Annie Wise, who lays it up and in. 35-19.
I think you can hear how excited Coach Hill was about that one. Terrific offensive play from his lineup. Henry Gamble there to try and get the steal.
And Simmons with a nice drive baseline. 35-21, and the offense starting to click for both squads.
Yeah, good response offensively for White coming into the timeout. A couple of scores on consecutive trips.
Red top of the key now, 10 seconds to play in the half. Step back, that's gonna be a long two, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Simmons. And she'll hand it back. Ackerman. And that'll be after the buzzer, and they'll wave it off. And that'll take us to the break. 35-21, Team Black in the lead. We'll get the bottom line score bug changed over for you at the half. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll see if we can't find a couple of people for interviews. Let you see people closer up than what you've seen on the game action camera so far. Stay with us here on the Tiger Network. You're watching the 2020 Fall Women's Basketball Inter-Squad Scrimmage.
Joined here courtside by Julia Ackerman. Julia, obviously great to see you back out on the floor. What did you get up to over the COVID break?
Not a lot, just a lot of training for basketball. Did a lot of working out, spending time with family, seeing friends back in California. So just glad to be back and with all these girls. It's super fun, super amazing. Wouldn't want to do anything else with this group of girls. So just can't wait to get back out there in January.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to see it as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Any shout outs back home?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my mom, my dad. Love you guys. Haven't seen you in a very long time. And my grandma in Ohio. I'm glad she figured out how to work the computer for this game. So, love you, Grandma.
Yep, shout out to Grandma Ackerman. Thank you, Julia. All right, we're joined here by a triplet of Tiger women's basketball players. Who do you guys want to shout out to? How's basketball been? Whatever you want to say.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And Kennedy, I hope you're watching, and maybe Taylor. I don't know. But I love you guys, and I hope we can make this real sometime soon.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Thank you for watching. I love you guys.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Thank you for watching. I love you guys.
Super original. Thanks. Here we're joined by 5 players from the black roster today. Ladies, how's this going in the first half? What do you think of the action?
It's a lot of fun being back out here for sure, playing with everybody, the vibe, like also being able to see the family. Shout out to all my family. Love all my puppies for me. See y'all soon.
Hey, Mom and Dad. Sophie, Thomas. Shout out to y'all.
Hey, Mom and Dad, Audrey and Abby. Shout out to Bean.
Hello to my family and my dog. I miss y'all.
Hello, love and miss all my family. See y'all soon.
Awesome. Thank you all. Welcome back for the second half of action here at Calgard Gymnasium in the Fall 2020 Women's Basketball Inter-Squad Scrimmage. Looks like starting 5's back out there for both rosters as the black team takes a 14-point lead into this second half. Runner that time from Jordan Rudd, who we spoke to at the break, alongside I think all of the roster for Black. The first-year players on the white team a little more camera shy. Understandably so. Top of the key here for Emily Nelson. Leong. Some aggressive defending from Coach Hill's lineup. And the layup no good that time for Addison Putnam. Tierney. A little bit of a loose pass, corralled though by Daniel. She's double teamed just inside her own half of the court, and that one thrown over the head of Sam Henry, the shortest player on the roster for Trinity. And Maggie Robbins, first-year guard, brings it down the floor for White. Kelly Simmons down low. Simmons, turnover, good work that time from Tierney to get the steal. Daniel drives in, kicks for the long two. No good for Anna Gilliott. And the quick turnaround at halftime catches Josh Maxigimba off guard, and he's back for the second half.
Yeah, the very quick halftime.
Well, we said we'd be out of here by 7, not quite. But with the way the referees aren't blowing the whistle very often, it's going to be a quick night. Exciting nonetheless, though, to see the girls back out on the floor.
I was going to say, honestly, the quick pace of this has made this very enjoyable. And I hope that the families watching at home have enjoyed it so far, and the halftime shout-outs.
We had to give white team a hard time for not coming down to say hi to their families. How must they be feeling? Left out.
The underclassmen will get that changed as they go through the system and become less camera shy, as the cameras will typically always be around. Leong trying
shot clock
to
running
spin
down
around.
again.
I think she got it off. Oh, they're going to say no.
Let it stand. Sam Henry also had one right before the halftime buzzer they waved off. I think that one rightly so. This one was a little closer.
I think this one was close enough. You can let it stand in an inter-squad scrimmage. Nice job for Gilliott underneath with the pump fake underneath, up and in, and the lead 18.
Yeah, Gilliott, a player that's going to look to build on her role this upcoming season. Was getting minutes here and there off the bench last year. Looking to be a bigger contributor for Coach Hill in the spring.
Really like the cut to the inside by Leong there, and not able to pick the ball up, but did draw the foul. One of the few so far in this game. And then a very nice inbound play for Simmons, creating the mismatch underneath.
Yeah, maybe a little too easy from a black team perspective.
Gilliott will chase that one down right in front of us. And Henry will probably would have been better served to just let it go, but the white team not pressing it forward. So Team Black able to retreat and get set up defensively. And on top of the key, feeds inside to Simmons. Rudd tried to stick her hand in there, but couldn't pull it away, and Simmons able to knock it down for a shot. Don't have official stats here, but I would say that's probably .14 for her.
Yeah, she's been leading the scoring for sure for the white team and showed some really good strength there, gathering that ball, going up with a couple of defenders draped on her.
So Rudd will stay in, everybody else off for Team Black, and in comes Coleman, Wise, Ackerman, and Milton.
Yeah, no rest for the white roster, as it's just quality coming on for quality for Coach Hill's team.
Jordan Rudd will pull for three off the back iron. Rebound far side by Annie Wise. Feeds it underneath to Milton, and Simmons diving in for the ball will create the turnover.
Simmons not just leading her team in points, but putting in the effort there, getting the hustle points and getting the ball back for White.
Robbins to bring it across. Nelson, top of the key, kicks back. Robbins into the lane. And a nice job fighting through to get that shot up and off, and it falls in.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with Robbins in the first half, so I looked into some of her high school achievements. She was 2019-2020 All-State, as well as the Defensive Player of the Year for District 9 6A at Plano High School. And of course, shout out to her favorite athlete, Dirk Nowitzki. Can't say they have a similar playing style, but I like to see her getting points on the board there for the White team.
It's going to be Milton picking up her own rebound and putting it back in. So far, it looks to be a very strong recruiting class. First years coming in, making some plays.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said in the first half, you know, some teams will come here for conference play and they'll be behind by quite a bit more at this point in the game at CalGuard Gymnasium. So it's been a good showing for some of the younger players in this program.
It was a good look there for Black. Couldn't make the highlight reel play to finish off the fantastic passing down the court. And a good job by White to settle back in and backside defense. And then Simmons not ready for that pass, and we'll get a line change here for Team White.
And the one player that was breathing heavy, Kelly Simmons, gets the word that she's the one staying on. She's tracking back here.
Davalos, Limoncello, Pretty, and Hale in for Team White, along with Simmons. Hale to the corner. Her shot's going to get blocked out of bounds, and it'll stay Team White ball. 11 on the shot clock. 3:46 left here in the third. Checking in for Team Black is going to be Emily Daniel and Sam Henry, but they will have to wait.
And to go back to that block from Milton, it's no shame to get your shot blocked there by the second-year forward, as she's got some remarkable length on the defensive side of the floor, and you know, she's got the ability to score, as we well know, that time off the mark.
Yeah, starting to see some of the threes not falling. Maybe just a small sign of fatigue, and understandable with this being really the first full competition for these two squads.
Yeah, and it's with any sport, it's a different type of fitness, game fitness versus practice fitness. You can go out and do your running and run lines, but it's just not the same as when you get into a game.
Coleman inside. Simmons drops down to help. That's going to leave. Emily Daniel wide open for three. Can't hit, and then Milton will have that roll off her foot.
Yeah, majority rules there on the refereeing decision is one pointing one way, the other two pointing for white ball.
And you probably can't see it up top, but something we saw on Friday night at the soccer match, the new whistles, if you will, the digital whistles that the officials will be using. And I would say probably now and even after pandemic, some might choose to use those. Got different sounds built into them as Team White looking to crawl back now down 41-29.
Yeah, and they kind of dug themselves a hole with the three-point shooting in the first half, but it'll be good just to get some points on the board here in the third and maybe make it competitive heading into the final quarter. I think their go-to is going to be Kelly Simmons for the comeback. If she can continue to put points on the board from underneath, and as well as a couple jump shots so far, they'll have a chance.
Henry near side corner back into Coleman. Good move with the left hand, but it won't fall. And that one will fall to Claire Hale for the rebound. Sophomore from Brandeis High School here in San Antonio.
Yeah, and good work from Hale to bounce back from her shot being blocked moments ago to contest Coleman there.
A good look at three from Pretty, and that one's off the back iron. Very solid effort from Team White here. The three's not falling. Other than that, they've looked very solid. And Emily Daniel will knock it down, 44-29, 15-point lead. And don't have stats, like I said, for this game, but I would be surprised if Team White is shooting better than 15% from downtown at this point.
Yeah, I think they just have the one make from Davalos in the first quarter.
Ackerman feeds Milton. Kicks out to Henry. She'll pull for three. And knocks it down back-to-back for Team Black. And the lead back up to 18. And timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 1:18 left here in the third quarter. We'll be right back. So talking to the stats crew, Team Black roughly 6 of 16 from downtown, and Team White 2 for 14. And I think that's pretty much difference in the game. 18-point lead, 12 of that coming off of 3-point makes. A very competitive Team White here, even though the scoreboard is pretty lopsided at the moment.
Yeah, and the odds are always stacked against them. Obviously, a majority of the returning players playing with Coach Hill's team in black tonight.
Offensive foul on Davalos, and both officials seeing it the same way. Henry to bring it across. Flanked by Milton to her left. She gives it up to Daniel. Now back to the top of the key. Tries to go over the top of Simmons. Probably not the best move. Deflects it away, but Milton gets it back. Drives to the low block. Kicks it back up. Tierney pumps for the three. Kicks it out Daniels. 10 on the shot clock. Top of the key now for Henry. Calls for the pick off the right side. Tierney brings it, gives it, and Henry takes advantage. A nice offensive possession there for Cameron Hill's bunch.
Yeah, Henry set that one up well and gets the scoop and score at the rim.
Again, those are the type of plays that you want to start executing early. You know, the shots don't fall here on opening night.
Yeah, and it was good to see Tierney involved setting the screen there. Obviously, I think the only first-year player playing in black tonight. Feeling, I guess, where Abby Holland's spot would have been in the rotation for Coach Hill. Big shoes to fill. She did well down the floor that time.
3 on the clock. Milton to beat the buzzer. Knocks it down. And what a finish for Coach Cameron Hill's Team Black.
Yeah, 11-0 run, I think, to finish out the quarter.
They will finish this one out at the third, up 52-29. We'll take a short break, be back with you for the final quarter here in Calgary Gymnasium.
Welcome back for the final quarter of action here in the Fall 2020 Women's Basketball Inter-Squad Scrimmage. The black team consisting of pretty much all the returners up 52-29, and they'll get the ball to inbound here. Sam Henry on the dribble. Daniel down into the corner for Tierney. Finished the quarter on an 11-0 run, did black, and they're going to look to add to it here with the three-pointer off the front of the rim. That time for Anna Gilliott, who's had a few looks.
Nice job offensively by Team Black, trying to find the open shooter against the zone, and that'll take a few seconds longer than just trying to beat somebody straight up on man defense.
Simmons looking to feed that one into Leong, playing at the high post. No luck that time. It's turned over to Black. Henry again calling the play. It's a good move to get open. The shot just short that time from Gilliott. Hasn't been able to find her shot. Just a couple of points tonight. Robbins onto the right hand, wanted to pass inside for Leong, and they're going to call a foul. Being inbounds for Putnam from the left. We'll see what Robbins can draw up here from the point guard position. She goes onto her left hand, drives, and the left-handed layup was blocked. And Josh, we talked about, the lack of foul calls leading to a more open game, a more back and forth game, even the score not necessarily being close. It's been good basketball played, and I think sometimes when fouls aren't being called like this, it forces you to play better basketball.
Yeah, it forces you, I think, if nothing else, to not rely on the call to bail you out a lot of times. And I think we've seen really good just up and down transition basketball, and I think it's a testament to just how deep this roster is. We've mentioned that Team Black is most of the returning players, and Team White, some of the newcomers and players who didn't get a whole lot of action last year on the most part, but nice job by Gilliott with the bank shot high up off the glass. But, both squads here, you've got some missed shots, which has led to pretty much the disparity in the score. Other than that, it has been a wildly entertaining game, and we're still just at 59 minutes since tip-off. You said that I think that, in general, Division III basketball would be a lot better if we didn't call every single touch foul. And I think, hopefully, those watching at home kind of feel the same way after watching this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the point of not relying on the fouls to bail you out, I think that leads to some better ball movement. And when you do drive, it's because the lane's open and not because, you haven't really executed and you just want to go up for the foul. Understand it is a part of the modern game of basketball, but maybe if you step back, maybe it's not a good part.
Yeah, I think there's definitely been some strategy developed around it over the last few years. Robbins and Henry.
This is a good matchup here as Robbins looks to work against Henry's press. Down underneath for Simmons, who's led the scoring for White. Simmons looking for a pass. Now she's going to go herself, goes into the lane. And
I think Joe Shelton's like, you guys stop talking about the non-foul calls. He's like, I want that one.
certainly some contact on that.
I thought there might have been more contact going in. The officials here were indicating that it was a deflection, but I thought that the contact may have been with the body. And Gilliott will knock down the three. She's got the team's last 5.
Yeah, and she shot herself out of a couple of misses in a row. Really good to see in terms of the confidence for Gilliott. And we're going to get an and one opportunity here for Simmons to respond with 3 of her own.
Simmons to the line.
Simmons knocks that one down. I don't know if we've seen any misses from the free throw line in our limited trips. It's good to see. That was something else that felt like at times Coach Hill's team could do well to improve.
Yeah, there were some games that they definitely shot themselves out of the contest by missing too many free throws, and Daniel with a nice little corner free throw line turnaround jumper.
Yeah, both teams starting to find their feet shooting, getting a rhythm here late in the game. Particularly the black team as Leon goes to the rim. Fight over the rebound. A couple of players hit the deck. And good to see everybody back up on their feet.
You get a little concerned when you see somebody like Simmons dive in there with their arm pinned back underneath them, but bounces up nicely.
Yeah, it was an awkward one, but that's also a testament to the type of player she is. She's out here leading her team in scoring and once again getting on the deck, trying to grab a loose ball.
Any wise in for Ashlyn Milton. The shot clock at 6.
Yeah, running down here, ball in the hands of Limoncello at the top, kicks to Simmons, and it was on line, but just too much behind it. White team gets the rebound though, and they'll get a reset.
Good job by Leong. She's got it now. And turn that second chance into a shot of her own, but she's going to kick out for Robbins. The 3 rolls in and out.
Just hasn't fallen for the white team from behind the arc. Gotten a lot of good looks though. In the corner now for Daniel, takes it baseline. Jumper no good and brought down by Robbins. Plano native's going to take it herself here, goes coast to coast, and I'll go with a jump ball. And it'll turn over to, it'll stay with White.
I think what we're seeing out of Robbins here is a very viable third point guard option here for Coach Cameron Hill.
Yeah, and it was Henry and Rudd in the rotation last year, and to add some fresh legs in as a number 3, not a bad thing at all. Leong now swings it across the court to Putnam. He's going to drive, and it's a nice floater. Took it on the offhand that time. Nothing but net for the sophomore guard from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Excellent drive down the baseline.
Henry draws a couple of defenders with the shot fake and tipped off of Leong, who is not happy with the call.
It's going to be Brad, Ackerman, and Coleman checking back in. Daniel, Henry, and Gilead to the bench.
Yeah, and it was good work, especially from Gilead, who I think took 4 or 5 straight shots for the black team and missed the first 2 and came back to knock down 3 in a row. She heads to the bench now. In for Robbins, defended by Jordan Rudd. Walks the ball up the floor. Double screen here, high in the post for White. Ball dropped for Putnam in what could have been a catch and shoot situation. Instead, it's Robbins again. Leong, as the shot clock's into single digits, kicked now for Putnam. The long 3 put up off the front of the rim, the side of the rim rather, and out for black ball. We're going to see a full court press here from White.
Double us in for Leong. I think if you're both teams, you're looking to finish this out strong.
Yeah, and the fitness levels are looking good. Still a high pace being played here. Full court press coming out in the 4th quarter. That's something we've seen from Coach Hill regardless of the scoreline over the years. I think using it here more as a training exercise.
And bounce pass directly into Simmons.
Yeah, they forgot they weren't playing on the same team tonight.
Yeah, the scoreboard, I think, mostly for those of us enjoying this one on the broadcast. I think for the teams, a little bit of pride in it, but overall, this is a matter of trying to get game situation and seeing what you will need to be working on over the next couple of weeks. Ackerman coming up just a little short on that one.
And it'll be a big challenge for Coach Hill and the players to navigate, obviously, with campus closing and all types of different COVID-related issues. Staying in game shape, staying sharp will be a challenge as they look to start the season up in January, hopefully. They don't have the benefit either of being an outdoor sport, which makes things slightly easier, as we saw with the men's soccer scrimmage the other night. That time, 2 points up on the board for White. There's some good Play driving at the baseline, and we'll have a quick timeout. We'll be right back with you for the conclusion of this one. 3 minutes, 41 seconds remaining on the Tiger Network. .59-36 here, 3 minutes 41 seconds left in the women's basketball inter-squad scrimmage for 2020. It'll be black team to inbound. Jordan Rudd now will bring it up the floor for Coach Cameron Hill. A soft full court press that time from White. They allow Rudd over the line. Coleman underneath, back to Rudd. Want the ball into Coleman. Robbins making it difficult, and it falls for Gilliott.
Nice job by Coleman. You like to see that. That was very quick after she pulled that rebound. Back up and off the release.
Yeah, that's something you work on, isn't it? Just throwing the ball against the backboard, grab it, put it back up as quick as you can. You saw that leading to 2 points that time for Black, who now have 61. Robbins just evading the attempted steal from Rudd, and the kick out to Molly Pretty didn't result in anything. Be Ackerman to inbound. And it'll be Jordan Rudd to set up the offense here for Black. Coleman with the screen. Wise drives, knocks it down comfortably. That one looked nice and easy for Annie Wise, senior guard out of Tulsa. White team will swing it around underneath now for Emily Nelson. Just left side of the lane, and the shot put up by Claire Hale. And it falls for the first year. Excuse me, the sophomore forward from San Antonio. Ackerman's pass intercepted again. Hale doing some good work that time defensively. Ackerman not one, as we mentioned earlier, that turns the ball very often over to the other team. Jab step that time from Nelson. And thought she did enough to leave her defender behind, but eventually she's caught up and she'll be fouled, headed to the line for two.
Sophomore out of Sugar Land. It's a nice drive to the rim off that corner spot for the three.
Still no misses for either team from the free throw line. It's good to see. So Rudd now working against Nelson. Fresh off those two makes. Zavalos making it difficult for Rudd on the right wing. Really hard pass from Coleman. And Gilliott did well to control it underneath again for Coleman. And quick hands. Can't underestimate that pump fake there from Coleman to throw off Claire Hale. And eventually put it up and in. Some good fourth quarter minutes for Haley Coleman. And a straightaway three that time from Maggie Robbins. And it's the first make we've seen from the white team from behind the arc in quite some time. It looked good though.
Drawing praise from Coach Hill. I'm going to say that some of the positives that we've taken from this one is it looks like the depth, both down low and at the top at point guard, looks to be very solid in the upcoming season.
Yeah, as the Tigers will be certainly one of the favorites in the SCAC within conference play, which is all I think we'll get this year. That three comes up short for Molly Pretty. Pass underneath for Annie Wise. That's 4 points for her in the last couple of minutes. And clock running down here for White. Kicked out wide again for Pretty. And this time she's able to knock it down.
Just got word that we're going to, since we're running along so quickly, we're going to add one more quarter. We'll erase the score and run it back for 10 minutes. As Red's mid-court shot will be off the mark. So stay with us as we go to basically a 10-minute
Overtime.
Sudden death overtime.
Yep.
We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back for quarter, we'll say 5.
I prefer it a last goal wins type of situation. Doesn't matter what the score was before. Somebody calls last goal wins. And the energy levels go up and the excitement levels go up. And here we go, we have a fresh 10 minutes.
See, this is the type of excitement you can have when you've got an inter-squad scrimmage. Add a 5th quarter to it.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach O would like to be able to make the rules all the time.
Start the quarter over, but I think that's also going to drive up the potential competitiveness of this quarter. As Team White not down by 20-plus points, able to sit here and see if they can give it a go for 10 full solid minutes.
Yeah, the biggest thing that will come into question here will be the fitness levels. Will they be able to go for 50 minutes at this high intensity? As that one's kicked to Rudd for 3, in and out.
Rebound to Putnam, and she'll draw the foul, so it'll stay White ball. So I imagine we'll see some pressing here. They'll come in. Mancello all the way over to Nelson. Feeds it up Putnam. The high feed to Simmons. That's going to take away her shot. Mancello dragging on the play. White team working it around. Nice job on the interior. And Simmons again. She's got the first 4 here for White.
Yeah, and I'd like to think the first pass over her head was actually an alley-oop. They just overestimated her jumping ability, but you can't underestimate her scoring ability there. 4 points already in the quarter.
Ackerman on the elbow, flips it inside. Coleman working down low. And has the drop step up over Hale, and it's 4-2.
Yeah, early on we saw Simmons match up with Coleman down low. We're not seeing that anymore as Hale's the one picking up Coleman defensively, I think just to keep Kelly Simmons fresh on the offensive end as she's leading the scoring. Here she was open underneath that time, but the pass couldn't find her.
Once again, Tigers try to pass it over the top of a Trinity low post. Not able to do so against Coleman. She deflects it up and takes it away. Now Ackerman has a 3. It's on line as always, but this one hits the front end of the rim. And this one will be black ball off the jump. So down 2. We'll take the inbounds pass. Milton from the corner 3. Off the mark, but Coleman grabbing the loose ball. Puts it back up and in. That was a good job by getting it back up so quickly. Just couldn't get it to go in off the glass. And White will control the rebound. Nelson gives way to Limoncello. Two-point lead and the ball and the opportunity to Rest just a bit, work through an offensive set. Now 8 on the clock. Simmons, back rim, no good. Rebound for Milton.
And you know Simmons and Coleman are relishing this opportunity to go at each other. They get it every time in practice. This is more of a real game situation. Fierce competitors, and we're seeing a really good matchup down low.
Clary Hale steps up, blocks Milton's shot. Team White 2.5 minutes in with a 2-point lead. Simmons, perfect pass for Hale. They'll kick it around. Limoncello open for 3, knocks it down. 7-2 Team White.
A new lease on life for Team White. They knocked down a 3 that they couldn't really find throughout the first 4 quarters. I think they just made 4 total. 2 of those coming in the last couple of minutes.
And a good exercise here for Team Black. Late in the game, legs maybe starting to give a little, find themselves trailing.
And
Three-pointer
Ackerman.
for Ackerman not falling. That's 2 in this extra set.
Yeah, she's visibly frustrated a little bit with not being able to knock down either of those. I heard some encouragement from Coach Hill down to our left, wanting her to get up another shot. Here she is bringing it down the floor now.
Rudd with the scoop. Rebound for our Ackerman, keeps it with Team Black. Now Emily Daniel gets a good look at 3, knocks it down. 2-point game, under 6.5 to play.
Now she doesn't miss many of those that open from 3.
Hale will slow things down. Limoncello to the baseline. The floater is going to be well short. White, just nobody underneath for the rebound. Easy for Team Black, and they'll push it across. Chance to tie or take the lead.
Yeah, that might just be a product of Simmons starting to feel a little bit of fatigue. Here she is fighting for this one with Coleman. Loses out.
Daniel knocks it down and 1. She'll go to the line. 5:54 to play. A chance to retake the lead, and I said this would be a good exercise for Team Black, being down 7-2, and they've clawed back after a 3-pointer by Daniel. Now an opportunity for a 3-point play by Daniel. So they can't get back on top. And the first miss that we've seen tonight. And the game will stay tied at 7. Nelson passes it across. Leong, her pass, dribbled on by Daniel, but Putnam maintained possession for Team White. And her roll will fall on the layup attempt. Allison Putnam gives Team White the 2-point lead at 9-7.
And those are the bounces that Team White wasn't necessarily getting in the first 4 quarters. Getting it here, and they've got the lead.
Daniel drives, rolls in and out. Rebound for Putnam. She gives way for Nelson. Leong across half court. She'll pull up. Line change here coming for Team Black. Nelson, long 3, back iron. Rebound, Limoncello. Reset the shot clock to 20. And now Nelson will pull again. That one off the mark, rebound for Milton. Under 5 for Team Black as they bring it across.
Seeing a lot of second chance opportunities for both teams here in this extra period. Not a lot of points coming from it though as of yet.
Coleman gives way. Rudd, she'll pull for 3. No good. Nice job by Coleman on the block out. Grabs the rebound, can't get the roll around layup to fall.
Yeah, just another one of those opportunities. Get the offensive rebound, can't turn it into points.
Underneath, Leong. Kick out, Putnam. Limoncello back to Putnam. Inside, Leong, she's got the shot. Comes up short.
We've seen a different dimension of Kelly Simmons here in the last couple of minutes. Funny, a couple of those pocket passes underneath. Hasn't turned into points yet though for Team White, and they lead by 2.
Daniel with a nice drop step to get into the lane. Can't get it to fall. And with 3:55 to play, Joe Shotland's going to take a timeout for Team White as they will have possession, and we'll have a line change here for Team Black when we return. 3:55 left to play. What I would say is a really good opportunity for the coaches to see how their two sides will respond to this. An extra quarter after what was essentially a blowout win for Team Black. They find themselves trailing and just off the mark.
Yeah, great ball movement out of the timeout, and it was just Robbins going with the right hand when she could have gone with the left. Couldn't get it to fall.
Score remains 9-7 for Team White.
In terms of this one-off period, fifth quarter, whatever you want to call it, that may be a big miss for Team White if they can't go on to see this one out.
Wise gets blocked by Leong, and her attempt to feed it back in is not going to be successful, and it'll be inbound play for Team Black underneath.
Yeah, Leong playing really hard. Hasn't necessarily had the best of it offensively, but he's putting a lot of effort out there on the other end of the court.
Annie Wise.
We don't need it unless he wants it.
Gonna be a foul on Team White. Kick out, Sam Henry, open, corner three. Short. Rebound for Davalos. Pushes up ahead. The 2-on-2, Leong. Now to Simmons, working the mismatch underneath against Gilead. Gilead did very well to be strong on the low post. Didn't give up a whole lot to Simmons. Under 3 to play. Trinity, now double team down low. Kicks out, has Wise. We've got an open shooter somewhere. And Sam Henry's gonna drive and tie the game at 9.
Terrific handles there from Henry to create her own shot. Gets it on the runner, on the money.
2.5 to play. Davalos brings it across into Simmons.
Question is, Josh, if this ends up tied, do we play a sixth quarter, dare I say?
Interesting to see if they go the full 10 or if they just play 5.
Just whatever Coach Hill wants. Just making up the rules as we go here.
Kick out, Davalos, top of the key for 3, and she knocks it down.
And that's the shot that we saw in the first quarter from Davalos. Knocked it down from 3 and then went cold throughout the rest of the game. But she's re-emerged here at a crucial point.
Fantastic entry feed there from Sam Henry as she spots Gilead wide open underneath, cuts the lead to 1. We approach the final 100 seconds here. Sam Henry chasing down, and the foul call coming from the baseline.
Based on how this game was called, that's an interesting one for the referees. Team White will certainly take it. High intensity defensively here for Black.
Leong kicks out, wide open, pretty for 3, in and out, no good. Tierney gets the board off to Jordan Rudd, who races across midcourt. Henry corner, does not want the 3 this time. Pulls it back. Minute 10 to play, drives, that one's blocked. And Pretty brings it across. Robbins, kick out, Leong for 3, off the mark. Gilead's going to have it. 54.4 to play. Timeout, Team Black for a substitution. And Julia Ackerman's going to come in for Jordan Rudd. As we saw all 3 of the Trinity point guards on the floor for quite a few minutes there, and it looked pretty solid back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. Dealing with a higher intensity of defense as well from both teams.
12-11. Team White with the lead. 25-second differential between the two clocks. The feed inside to Tierney. Drop step, left hand, no good. And no foul call. Thought there might have been some contact. Shot clock still on, but barely. Robbins. And that's got to be on the floor. And they're going to say let it shoot. So another opportunity to I'd say another opportunity to check out what you can do here. If she makes both, you're going to need a 3 to tie. Robin's first one is up and through, giving Team White the 2-point lead. And there it is, the 3-point lead and a timeout for Team Black.
4 for 4 from Robbins from the line.
And if you're Coach Cameron Hill, this worked out really nicely. If you wanted to see something for your team, get an opportunity in a game situation to see what you can do. Find yourself a 3-point shot, see if you can tie the game. 23.1 to play.
Certainly got some options. You've got Emily Daniel, who's made a couple. Sam Henry has a make. And, of course, Julia Ackerman, always a threat from behind the arc.
Have Tierney as well, who's looked good shooting. One make early on, and I know she's missed maybe 2 or 3 since then, but good-looking shot from downtown. She'll stay in. Annie Wise knocked down a few long-range jumpers today.
Yeah, interesting to see no Milton, no Daniel here on the floor for this quote-unquote late-game situation.
You have Gilliott down low with Tierney as well, off to your right. And Henry's going to let the ball roll and pick it up near midcourt. Clock will start. And so instead of going for 3 immediately, Henry knocks down the easy 2. And a travel call on Claire Hill.
And that's really Coach Hill just backing his defense there to go for the 2 and then immediately go into the press, and they get the turnover they were looking for. Well drawn up there. Still need points here, though.
15.5 seconds to play. Down a point. Henry from the backcourt. Brings it across. Under 10, Ackerman, top of the key. Wise kicks out. Gilliott's got a 3 from the corner, knocks it down. 3.9 to play and a timeout for Coach Joe Shotland's white team. And the dagger to the assistant coach.
Yeah, big make that time from Anna Gilliott, who's had her ups and downs shooting in this one. Came up big there with 3.9 seconds left on the clock.
Junior from South Lake Carroll, putting Team Black ahead for the first time here in this extended period. And now the excitement for both teams. An opportunity for Team Black to play defense and hold a tight game at the end. An opportunity for Team White to see if they don't have a play, they can find an open game-winning 3. Or maybe even something underneath. Tie it and send it to what I would assume would be an overtime period. And this will be the final 3.9 here. Win, lose, or tie.
I don't think that one will sit well with the fans, but we might have to go aggregate score, in which case Black comfortably winning. That was the novelty, though, of the whole situation. It's a fresh scoreboard, and they've got 3.9 seconds here in a late game situation, down 2, see what they can draw up out of the timeout.
Inbound play. And it's going to be Robbins dishing it off, and Purdy at the buzzer, in and out. And that will do it. 16-14, Team Black fights their way back after trailing as many as 5 here in this exciting bonus period. And they win convincingly in the first and excitingly in the second. And a fantastic demonstration here from both squads. Now back to a unified Trinity squad as the games have ended.
Yeah, it was a fun one, wasn't it, Josh? We saw the depth that the team is going to have this season coming up, and I saw a terrific late game situation ending with that close miss that time from Molly Pretty.
And so thank you all for joining us. I hope that you had as much fun at home as we did here from Calgary Gymnasium. And we're hoping that everything goes well, that we can get at least the conference season in starting sometime in January when we return for the spring semester. And that will be the goal that we have going forward. Hopefully this isn't the last we see of the Tigers here this academic year. So we look forward to that, and we look forward to seeing you again back in January. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you next time here on the Tiger Network. Thanks to Ryan and the Trinity women's basketball team for the entertainment tonight. Have a good night and take care.